Gimel on the base. We finished yesterday the sugi about the neshef. What is neshef? So the Gemara had two different ideas. What is neshef? The Gemara said on neshef in Ochaname is the evening. On neshef means also the morning. So we say trei nashve have. It was two types of a neshef, and sometimes we use neshef. Neshef means like something that changes. So sometimes it changes from day to night, and sometimes it changes from night to day. So that means neshef. Says the Gemara. The Gemara that I've given on base. The David mi have yoda palge de leile emas. The Gemara says that David HaMelech said, "Chatzois lailo okum lo yido yislecho." Right? How did David HaMelech know when it's Chatzois lailo? David mi have yoda. David knew when is it exactly Chatzois lailo. David mi have yoda palge de leile emas. Why not? Ashte Moshe Rabbeinu lo have yoda. Where do you know that Moshe Rabbeinu didn't know? Because it says in the Pasuk, Chsiv, Kachatzois halaylo ani yoytze b'soich Mitzrayim. What means Kachatzois? Moshe Rabbeinu, when he comes to warn Paro about the Makas Bechoros, he says Kachatzois halaylo ani yoytze b'soich Mitzrayim. What's a my Kachatzois? Like almost Chatzois, right? Not exactly Chatzois. No, it means he came and he said the warning the way he got it. That means the Rebbeinu should have told him Kachatzois, and that's why he comes and he says also Kachatzois. No, it can't be. Why? Klapi the Shemaim, there's no suffix. They know exactly when it's Chatzois. So what's the pshat that he says Chatzois? Elo do'omar le kuchobrichu, elo do'omar le lemocho or bachatzois ve'osei uvomar Kachatzois. Because Baruch Hu told them in Chatzois Halayla, because Baruch Hu told them when it's going to be. This is going to be the next day, the same time. Bachatzois Halayla is going to be the Makas Bechoros. And he came and he said Kachatzois. Why? Because Moshe Rabbeinu didn't know. Alme mesapele. So we see that what David HaMelech actually knew when it's Chatzois, and Masechet and the Moshe Rabbeinu has no idea when it's Chatzois. But David Aviyoda Simone. It says more with David Aviyoda. So no, Simon Haveli. David knew when it's Chatzois because he had a simon. What was the simon? Omar Ravache bar Bizne, Ravache the son of Bizne, in the name of Omar Rab Shimon Chaside. Kinoy hoyotolu lemal mimitoso shel David. There was over there a harp hanging on top of the Vekevan shegiach Chatzois lailo. Bo ruach tzvoinis. Came ruach tzvoinis. We can see in Rashi there's 4 different ruchos would come every day. We go over Basra. V'lo yisheves boy blew into it. Umenagen meilov. Miyad doyo oimed ve'oisek batira ad she'olo amud hashachar. Now, what happened over here? So in the Rishonim, what do we find 2 different malachim? Some say that this was a nes. This was a nes. The harp was there hanging, and came, but the wind came over there and was hanging. But we find a lot of Rishonim, the Ashmol, the Ritva, lots of Rishonim will understand. No, it was not a nes. This he knew exactly, because every night, as the Gemara says, menasheves ruach tzvoin. It's blowing over there, the wind that comes in the north, a normal wind. When he knew exactly how to place this harp, that the wind, when it comes in Chatzois lailo, it should come and do a certain noise. So you add like an alarm clock or whatever it is we're going to call today. If he knows how to when to wake up, he's going to wake up in Chatzois lailo okum lo yidus lechos. So it was not a big nest, as we say. But this was part of the thing what David HaMelech came and no. What happens over there? Ad she'olo amud hashachar. Kevan she'olo amud hashachar. What happens then? Nichnesu chachmei Yisrael etzloi, and they tell him, Omuloi, Adonenu HaMelech, Amcho Yisrael tzrichim parnasa. Therefore, parnasa. Omar lohem. Betzim, this was a time why they came, and every day they came, or only one time they came. Over in the Gemara is mashma, every day they would come and need parnasa. So in Chonamid there's a few years stories in Yankev, for example, that's Pam Achas. One time they came to ask him for parnasa. Over here is a mashma in the Gemara, before she asked. Over here is mashma in the Gemara that every morning, part of the routine, right, was he gets up at Chatzois. Every morning he got up at Chatzois, yes. So also every morning they would come in and say, Amcho Yisrael, tzrichim parnasa. What's the pshat? Because over here, the Yarois Dvash I see, he says that over here is this bavust, that David HaMelech, when he killed Goliath, when he had the battle against Goliath, right? So what David HaMelech got from Shaul HaMelech? So Shaul HaMelech said, whoever will kill Goliath, יאשרנו המלך אוישר גודל, וגם הסביתו ייתן לו לאישו. Right? He became a son-in-law of the king of Shaul. In the beginning, he was supposed to get Meirav. He got married to Michal. Okay, the whole story over there, look at Shmuel. But Lemaise, he got a lot of gold. And what was this gold? He went and designated the whole thing. He donated to put away for the Beis Hamikdash. And Klal Yisrael came and they had an argument with him. Why you put away the money? Klal Yisrael need to have a parnasa. Klal Yisrael had to have a parnasa. And the vikuach was between them. So in the Sefer Imolei Piti Ilosecha from Rabban Leib Steinman, he has a Sefer Imolei Piti Ilosecha. And over there beings that the vikuach was over there, how much ishtadlis they have to do. David HaMelech said, and as we know, that a person doesn't have to do ishtadlis. How much ishtadlis have to do? As much as chonami ishtadlis you have to do, you don't have to do kimat any ishtadlis. You have bitochen and then you don't have to do ishtadlis. You sit and to learn, you don't need. They came and they said, no, it doesn't help. Ein hakoyim tasbiyas ha'ari, ein haboim mispalim b'chil yosoi, and b'chil yosoi, as we're going to see. So that was the argument between David HaMelech and his people. That's what the Baal Leib explains over here. But this, this was, that's what says the Yahweh's Dvash. There's a lot of explanations how it works. Okay, they came there, they say, tzrichim parnosa. Omar lohem, lechu v'ispanos uzeh mizeh. It's enough, whatever you have, it's enough. Omuloi, ein hakoyim tasbiyas ha'ari. A koyim is 3 fingers full. That means, ein hakoyim, a koyim doesn't come, it's not enough to come and to satisfy a lion. A lion needs a lot of food. And over here, you want to give me over here, what do you want to give me? You want to give me a little bit of food? It's not going to help. Some say in Akoyim that when Ari is hungry, what he does, he takes his fist and he's going to come and he's going to suck his fist. So the same thing, in Akoyim he's going to come and he's going to bite, and he's going to try to chew his fist, but it's not going to satisfy him, right? It's not going to satisfy him. So the same thing, in Akoyim must be a Ari. Vein haboir mismalei mechuliosoi. Also the pit, if you're going to come and dig out the pit, it's not, if you're going to try to fill it in from the sand that you took out, it's not going to fill in. That's what Rashi says. Rashi says that is from the water that comes out from this pit, it's never going to be full, the pit. You have to add other water. So basically, it's not enough. What Klal Yisrael themselves produce is not enough. So what do? No. Tells them David HaMelech, Lechu upishtu yadeichem bigdud. Go and go out to war. Go out to war, and then you can have a bit of the booty, and that you're going to have parnasa from. Miyad yoyatzim be'achitoifel. They go first to Achitoifel. Venimlochin be'Sanhedrin, they ask the Sanhedrin if they should go out to the war. V'shoyalim be'urim v'tumim, and they ask Urim v'tumim. And why they ask Urim v'tumim and all of this? Because over here is not a milchemes mitzvah. It's a milchemes haroshos. That means there's 2 types of milchemes. There's, as we learned in the Gemara Sanhedrin, there's 2 types of milchemes. There's a milchemes harashus and there's a milchemes mitzvah. The difference is, a milchemes harashus, you have to ask first the Sanhedrin, you have to ask the Urim v'tumim before you go out to war. Milchemes mitzvah, you don't have to ask the Sanhedrin. Over here, it's not a milchemes mitzvah, right? Over here, he tells them, Lechu pishtu yadeichem. Let's go and have do a war with the goy, with your neighbors, and then you can have a little bit of the booty, and that's going to be your parnosa. So no, it's milchemes mitzvah, milchemes rashus. This is milchemes rashus. No, it's a milchemes rashus. So they need to come and to ask the Tumim. They need to ask the Sanhedrin. That's the reason they have to ask all of these people. Omar Yosef, Michael, where do we see in the Seder Apostle that this was the order to come and ask first Achitoifel, and then to ask the Sanhedrin, and only then to ask the Urim v'tumim? Says the Gemara, we said in the Pasuk, Ve'acharei Achitoifel, and this is talking about, Ve'acharei Achitoifel is talking about over there, about the Seder of the order of David HaMelech people. David HaMelech's people. And David HaMelech's people said over there, Ve'acharei Achitoifel, Benoyo ben Yoyodo. Ve'evyoso v'sar tzvo lamelech Yoyov. The Girsa by us is Ve'acharei Yoyodo ben Benoyo. Some say that why it says Benoyo ben Yoyodo, and also that's the way we learn it, because when the pasuk says Yehoyo ben Benoyo, means Yoyodo Benoi of Benoyo, and means Benoyo was the son of Yoyodo. That's why we call it Benoyo ben Yoyodo. Is Achitoifel? Who's Achitoifel? Yoyetz, right? Achitoifel, we know Atzas Achitoifel till today. It's a phrase of Atzas Achitoifel. Achitoifel gave a Eitzah, and then the Pesukim says Achitoifel when he gave Eitzah was like Atzas Achitophel was like a Urim and Tumim. Atzas Achitophel. ואחרי אחיתופל בניהו בן יהוידו ואביוסו בשר הצור למלך אחיתופל. אחיתופל יועץ. That is אחיתופל was a יועץ. וכן הוא אוימר. And that's the pasuk in Shmuel, what says of there. ואצס אחיתופל אשר יועץ ביום עמהם, כאשר ישאל איש, or without the pasuk of the pasuk it says yes, I think it says איש בדבר או אלוהיקים. That means Achitophel Keilu, someone wanting the Dvar Elokim, like you're asking who Urim. When you want to come to ask the Rebbeinu Shalom something, you're asking the Urim Tumim. When you ask the Urim Tumim, you don't have any doubts, right? The same thing. When Achitophel said something, it was clear. It was very, very clear. Like you know that the Urim Tumim don't have no mistake. The same thing, you know that Achitophel, when he comes and advises you something, is no mistake. And that's why the chat in the pasuk, "Ve'atzas Achitophel sheyoatz b'yom ha'ele, kasher ish al ish b'dvar Elokim." Says let's see a bit of Rashi. Rashi, דיבר המזחיל, ועושה איהו ואומר ככה צויס. שלא יודע לך ונשו ולעם מדבור ומשעס אמוירו. That means David HaMelech, we say that he knew when it's Chatzois, and Moshe Rabbeinu had no idea when it's Chatzois. And we're going to see the Gemara is going to go back to this question, and we're going to have to answer it. Kino yotor lemalo mitosei. Unekovov means the holes of the harp. Letzat sofin. Kevan shegiah chatzois night, it came the middle of the night, midnight. Ruach tzvonis ben Hashem esboi dom amar. Arba ruchos ben Nashris bechol yoim. Shei shois rishon shel yoim. What is the 6 first hours of the day? Ben Hashem es ruach mizrochis, least. Meilu chachamo. Vesheish ruach droimis. Ubetchilas halaylo ruach ma'arovis. Ubachotzois halaylo ruach tzvonis. So Rashi goes according to the opinion that this was more. Yeah, he fitted it. It's not a big nest. He just a skill. Yeah, he knew how to hang it, and according to the winds where it's working. If he comes and he's digging out a pit, you're going to come and throw back the sand into the pit. It's not going to get filled. Afghan, the same thing over here. If you're not going to come and support the anim, we don't have enough for ourselves. How could you want that the Ashirim should give all the money to the Anim, and then the Anim, you're just going to change it? The Ashirim are going to be the Anim, and the Anim are going to be the Ashirim. It's not enough. Matzav means the troops, how they're going to stand. How they're going to ambush the enemy. So this is a big shaila on Rashi. What Rashi says, Kedei shispalelu aleim. Why Kedei shispalelu aleim? We just said it's a Milchemes Rishus. Milchemes Rishus, you have to have the Sanhedrin. The Sam Achronim explain like this. When Rashi says Kedei shispalelu aleim, because we have also the Urim Tumim. And the Milchemes Rishus, when we go out to fight the Milchemes Rishus, is either, or we can have asking the Sanhedrin, or we can ask the Urim Tumim. Over here it says they would ask both. Also the Urim Tumim, and also the Sanhedrin. What's up, shot? Says Rashi, the Sanhedrin, they ask, you know why? Kedei shispalelu aleim. She's done for them, that's why they ask the Sanhedrin. V'shali b'Urim Tumim im yatzlichu, if they were matzliach, and then, in Ochanam, Ocheg Rasina Ma'ikro, v'achei Achitophel ben Yehoyav ben Yehoyav, v'Yosor v'Sar Tzvon HaMelech Yehoyav, Achitophel ze Yoyetz. So, we said Achitophel is the Yoyetz. Let's see who is the second one. It says the Gemara Daf Daled Omed Aleph. Benayo ben Yehoyada, who is it? This is the Sanhedrin. That from then they took Nochanam Reshus, as we said, or Lefi Rashi, as we said, the Nochanam they should daven for them. Benayo ben Yehoyada Sanhedrin. Ve'Evyosor, who's Evyosor? Evyosor Eilu Urim V'Tumim, because Evyosor was the Kohen Gadol. Evyosor was the Kohen Gadol. That how you ask a Kohen Gadol? The Kohen, how you ask the Urim V'Tumim? Sorry, the Urim V'Tumim. Not every person could ask the Urim V'Tumim. The Urim V'Tumim. The Kohen Gadol is asking the Urim V'Tumim, and he understands how to come and to read the Urim V'Tumim. Not everyone can come and understand how to read the Urim V'Tumim. And Evyosor in Ochaname was a Sar Tzva of David HaMelech till a certain time when Evyosor in Ochaname also was Ois of David HaMelech, because then who became Tzadok HaKohen became the Kohen Gadol of David HaMelech. And as we know, right, there's a famous vote of the Goen Ligabe Chano, what we're going to see in Daf Lamed Beis, the whole story of Chano, by also in the Gemara in Lamed Aleph, right? It's of the Shikoiro, Shikoiro. Why? Because with the Urim V'Tumim, the way it worked, that he asked a question, and it lighted up the thing, the words, the letters. Now, for these letters that light up, you have to come in to make it into a word. Now, so over there, Eli HaKohen was sitting, Chana walks in, and he sees she's davening quiet, and they were not used to that type of davening. And he sees that it lights up which words are lighting up the words of Chof, Shin, Reish, Hey, or Shin, Chof, Reish, Hey, these letters. He doesn't know how to read them, so he says, oh, this means she's shikoiro, she's behaving like a shikor. And he says, no, Isha Kesheiro. I'm not shikoiro, I'm a Kesheiro. That means when the Urim and Tumim, they light up certain letters, and you have to know how to read it. It's the same. Huh? Kesoro, or Kesoro, or Kesheiro, or Shikoiro, the same letters. And that's why you got mixed up. So, Ubenayo ben Yoyodo, Halakreisi, V'cheinu Oimer, that Ubenayo ben Yoyodo, Halakreisi, Halaplesi. Kreisi and Plesi is what's called Kreisi or Plesi? Durim V'tumim. Why do Durim V'tumim called Kreisi or Plesi? Says the Gemara. Ve'lomo Nikro Shmom Kreisi or Plesi. Kreisi, Shekursim Divrayim. It's very, very clear. Yes to go to war, not to go to war. Very clear what the Urim and Tumim answers. Plesi shemufloim bedivreim. You know what means mufloim bedivreim? Muflo means in Ochaname sometimes it's not clear. As we said, because in Ochaname, so you have to know how to read it, and that's mufloim. V'acharkach, who comes later after the Urim and Tumim? Sartzvol HaMelech. Who was that? Who was the Sartzvol? Who was the general of David HaMelech? That was Yoyov ben Tzeruya. That's Yoyov, and that's Yoyov ben Tzeruya. Says Rashi, Benayo ben Yoyodo the Sanhedrin, She'oyo Av Bezdin. He was the Av Bezdin, and mainly that's why we call him Sanhedrin. V'cheinu Oimer, Benayo ben Yoyodo, Al HaKereisi ve'al HaPleisi. Rishon ve'koidem lo, שבתחילו noisim reshus, ואחר כך שואלים אם יצליחו. First they take reshus from who? From the Sanhedrin, and then in Ochaname they're going to ask if they will be מצליח or not going to be מצליח. ואב יוסר, אלו אורים ותומים. שכל ימי דוד הוא נשאל באב יוסר, Ad, not all the Mimei David, Ad Milchemes Avshalom. Avshalom was the son of David HaMelech, what rebelled against David HaMelech. And then there was a battle of Avshalom against David HaMelech in Yar Ephraim. And over there we find Sheshoal Lev Yosef V'loi Olsoloi. He asked, in Ochaname, what's going to be the din? Should I go war? I didn't go war, and he didn't get answered. V'shoal Tzodoig V'olso Kenam. I'm going to say the Roilam V'nistalek Oz Min HaKohen. That was a siman that he's not going to be anymore or Kohen. Shekosim es divrayim. Says Rashi, this is the why it's called crazy. Shoirim dvorim ktsuvim vegemurim shelo yivchesu velo yosifu. It tells you exactly yes to go, not to add, and not to be not less and not more. Says the Gemara. Omar Rav Yitzchok Barade ve'amelo Omar Rav Yitzchok. Some say the name of Rav Yitzchok Bereid Ravidi, the son of Ravidi. Micro. Where do we see that David HaMelech, that Kino, as Rashi says, the Kino Tolu Lemalo Mitosu Moiroi? How do we know this idea? What the Gemara says that he used to wake up. This alarm clock, what he had was this harb. How do we know it from the pasuk? Says the Gemara. We learned out from the pasuk. It says in the pasuk, Uro kevoidi, Uro hanevel v'chino iro shochar. So we see over there from the pasuk that Uro kevoidi. That means what's Uro kevoidi? So let's look in Rashi. Says Rashi, Uro kevoidi al tiskabdi b'sheino kishar melochim. That means my covet should get up, because part of the covet is a king, he can sleep in. So he says, my covet should get up, I'm not going to be like the rest of the kings. What's Iro Shochar? Shar Melochim, Hashachar Moiron. That means they wake up 3 hours into the day. Ve'ani me'oirer es hashachar. That means I'm awake before the shachar comes over here, I'm already awake. Says the Gemara. Rab Zeire Omar. That means now we're going back a different teretz on the question: how could be that David HaMelech knew when is the time of Chatzos, and Moshe Rabbeinu didn't know? So one teretz was that David HaMelech had a siman, Moshe Rabbeinu didn't have a siman. Right? That was one teretz. How could Moshe Rabbeinu say Kach Chatzos Halayla, and David HaMelech doesn't say Chatzos Layla Kum Lo Yidos? So we said Moshe Rabbeinu had no siman. David HaMelech has a siman with the harp. Says the Gemara. Rab Zeire says a different text. Moshe le'olam haveyoda. Moshe Rabbeinu, he knew when is the Chatzos. David name haveyoda. That means do you know exactly when it's Chatzos. Just what? Kevan the David Aviyoda Kino Lomali. So why do you need exactly the hub if he knows when is the thing? Chanami says the Gemara, he didn't need, in order to know when is Chatzos, he didn't need to know when is the Kino. Just what? Leisura Mishnase. He needed an alarm clock. And this goes to feed the Shita that he would wake up in Chatzos. That means the Gemara says this fits only, the Rishonim say, the Ritva says, that we saw yesterday two different opinions. How exactly was the night of David HaMelech? He would learn Torah till Chatzos, and from Chatzos he would say Shiros V'Tishbochos. Or no, he would sleep till Chatzos, and Chatzos he would get up and he would come and say Shiros V'Tishbochos. This fits with the teretz that in Chatzos Alayla he would get up, and that's why he needed a hub. Why he needed the kino? He needed the kino in order to get up. He needed the kino. Says the Gemara. And Moshe, Kevan says the Gemara. Kevan the Moshe Aviyoda. He knew when it's Chatzos. So Lomo li lemeima kachatzois. Why he says kachatzois? Right? Kachatzois is a lashon of a suffix. He knew when it's Chatzos, so he should say Chatzos Laila. Moshe Kosovar. Moshe Nochonami, he knew when is exactly Chatzos. Just what? Shemo itu itztagnine paroi. The itztagnine paroi, the advisor of paroi, they will have the mistake. They will have the mistake. They wouldn't know when it's Chatzos. And when is the Chatzos? Because be'etzem, I heard once a vote from Reb Simonik Diskin. It was a Rosh Yeshiva called Torah. Reb Shimon, I think it was called Reb Shimon. Is the Reb Shimon Yehuda or something like that? It was called Diskin, a neighbor of my parents, and it was Torah. And he said once a vote that what is Chatzos? What is Chatzos? Chatzos is not something, as you can call it, tangible, right? What is Chatzos? If you take a piece of paper, and you tear it into half, exactly into half. So you have one half on one side, the other half on the other side. But what's in the middle? Nothing. What is Chatzos? Chatzos is a time? Chatzos is not a time. Chatzos is not a time, right? You have before Chatzos and you have after Chatzos. Chatzos itself, it's like half. You take a baby, you cut it into half. You have this half and this half, but you don't have the middle. Chatzos is not a time. You have before Chatzos and you have after Chatzos. He says also Misa. What is Misa? When a person dies, you don't have the Shas Misa. You have when he's alive and when he's dead. Shas Misa is no minute that that's the Misa. You have before Misa, before he dies, and after that. He says that is what happened Makas Bechoros. It was before Chatzos they were alive, after Chatzos they were dead. After Chatzos, and that's why the Tzagnine Paroi couldn't figure it out. Because there's no Chatzos Alayla exactly, there's a Zman, what we call Chatzos Alayla. That's what he said once a vote. Okay, so this is a little bit, you could go in a philosophical vote. What is Chatzos? If it's a time, how you look at time, you could divide time. Okay, we're going to leave it for next time. But this is, yeah. So,
That's why the illusion
Kachatzois. No, that's the Shaila the Gemara. Why he said Kachatzois? Because it's Tagnine Paroi. Because it's Tagnine Paroi, he didn't want, he himself knew when it's Chatzois. But he thought that the Tagnine Paroi, he knew that they would have a mistake when it's Chatzois. No? And they're going to say, you see, this is not the Maaseh Hashem. The question is, 1 second. Makas Kinim already they saying it's Ba'aloikim he. Now they're going to wake up and say, no, this is not the Divrei Hashem. I mean, in Makas Kinim they said it's Ba'aloikim he. No? Makas Kinim they said it's Ba'aloikim. So now they're going to come and say, no, you should, this is a Raya, this is not from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, this is Makas Bechoros. Because he said Chatzois, and it came in Yochanan and Noah in the same time of Chatzois. So I think the Chasam Sofer says, this is already the Rabbeinu Bechai or Rabbeinu Bachye, Ala Torah, he already mentions this question. What do you mean, says Rabbeinu Bechai? Makas Kinim, already they said, it's Ba'aloikim. They agree that this is everything came from the Rebbeinu Shalom. So now what he's going to say, Chatzois, he says, because this is the last punishment, what they're going to get. And this, they shouldn't have any tzad. This is, what is the purpose of Yetzias Mitzrayim? V'yedatem ki ani Hashem. V'yedatem ki ani Hashem. It was the world should know that there is a Rebbeinu Shalom. And if anyone could have the smallest doubt, Imeilei Nochaname. And this is the Chaim Shmulevitz Bavuz, they speak about Makas Bechoros. The oldest kids are dying, and what they're going to come and say, we don't know exactly Chatzois. Exactly, when a person wants to bring himself into Sfeikus, even in a matzav when, his oldest child is dying, as we see in Mitzrayim, they will come and find, this is not the Rebbeinu Shalom. They're going to find any tzaddik to come and say, this is not the Rebbeinu Shalom. There's a purpose to Reb Chaim Shmulevitz. But the Chasam Sofer says, why what was the mistake? He says because Stagninim could not know exactly when it's Chatzois. Stagninim, they had the sorceries and all kinds of things. So he says because when we look at Chatzois, we look at Chatzois in Yerushalayim. The Chatzois was Nikva, we lefi the Chatzois in Yerushalayim. And that's why when we come also, this is the big nafkaminas, we're going to see in Tfilas HaShachar, maybe we're going to go into it, maybe not, we're going to see to the, when we have to daven, and when we daven in certain places in the world, the nafkamina, when is Chatzois, when is not Chatzois, when we start to count the day, the dateline, and all of these things that have to do also with the davening. When we start counting the times, the hours, we start from Yerushalayim. The question is, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu did the fourth day, right? Nitlu amoiros, Roi lochem le shonim yomim le moyadim, right? So how exactly HaKadosh Baruch Hu hung the sun and the moon and all the moiros on the fourth day? It started, the fourth day started with the zricha, with the sun rising, or Chatzois Hayom started the fourth day. How exactly was the creation the fourth day? And this is the machloikas, how exactly we counting the dates. If it started the fourth day, HaKadosh Baruch Hu came and hung the Chatzois Hayom, now there is a sun, there is now a moon, there is the whole galgalim, what we call, right? And now we have according to this, we're going to figure out the dates. Oh no, it started the fourth day, started the morning, it started over there, that started the morning, it started the sun rising. How much? 90 degrees from Yerushalayim. And Mele, when we start the dateline, it has to start 90 degrees from Yerushalayim. So it started, the first day of creation. I mean, first day of creation of the sun, of the Moiris. So that in Hashem we're going to speak about as we get through, or in Tfilas HaShachar, or we're going to have to wait for Masechet Rosh Hashanah, when we talk about the dateline. Okay, says the Gemara. So Moshe Rabbeinu, he really knew. Says Moshe, Kosovar Shemo Itu Yistaglinei Paroi, Veyoimu Moshe Badoi, Moshe Nashaka. He didn't get it, he say Moshe Badoi, but he cared that in Ochanaz he said from the Rabbeinu Bechai that he wanted V'yedatem Ki Ani Hashem, and that was the purpose of the Makas Bechoyos. Domar Mar. Lamed l'shein choloimar, always teach yourself say, Eini yoidea. Why? Shemot is bad, because maybe in Ochaname what's going to happen? It's not going to happen like you think, and then they're going to say that word, that word, you're going to come and say that word, that you are a shakran. Ravashi Omar, Ravashi says, a different terms. Be'emes, Moshe Rabbeinu knew when it's Chatzois. Why he says Kach Chatzois? It's not a suffix, just what he said. Bepalge ute, he says that. Bepalge ute, that leisar nagi arbeisar, avekoy. V'oche koma Moshe l'Yisrael. Omar HaKadosh Baruch Hu lemocho kachatzois alaylo ki yoidne ani yoyte b'tzorech Mitzrayim. It was that night when he got the nevuah. When was it? It was the night beforehand. That was the oir le'arbosor. Oir le'arbosor, he got the nevuah. And when oir le'arbosor he got the nevuah, exactly Chatzois Alaylo. And he tells them, like this night, Chatzois Alaylo, I got now the nevuah. This will happen tomorrow at the same time. When is the same time tomorrow? Chatzois Alaylo. But he said Kachatzois because just like tonight, the same thing tomorrow night is going to be Kachatzois Alaylo. Says Rashi, Shemo Itu Yitzlagnei Paroi. Im ani yoidei lecha v'nasho, I know to come and to say when it's Chatzois, Heim einam yoidim lecha v'nasho. V'koidem sheyagia Chatzois, yehu svurim sheyagia. ועדיין לא יבוא המקו, ויאמרו מוישה בדוי, אילקח טויב לאחו יזלושן איני יודע. That's why it's better to say איני יודע. But Rashi mentions דווקא, they would think that would come beforehand. Why not after? We thought if we go that it's going according to Yerushalayim, no, Yerushalayim is before, Chatzois is before Mitzrayim. No, it's a little bit more to the east. I don't know. ואומר מר, במסכת זה אחרת, ותאוחז תהינך, that means the person can say, yeah, I said, so the person always keeps the words that he says. And then, ונכשל בדבורך. תליסר נגי הרביסר, that in Ochaname he got the nevuah when the night before, in Ochaname he got the night before, and he's going to say, but I think Rashi al says that Moshe Rabbeinu didn't get the nevuah at night, you know? Remember Rashi? He got all the nevuahs by day. You think so, Rashi? Yeah. Rashi says because he didn't get the nevuah at night. He wanted to show him the chodesh. He didn't get a nevuah at night. Rashi brings up Psa Medrash. Over here we see in the Gemara nicht so. You remember? Okay. Okay. Says the Gemara. What?
Rashi says,
Elo bayoim. Oh, that's the last Rashi, yeah. No, I don't know.
But did he get the Nevuah now, or is he telling Klal Yisrael now?
No, he got it in the Nevuah, no. That means he got the Nevuah, and Ve'omar lohem, you know, tomorrow you're going to get it. Now, if Rashi says that he didn't get Nevuah only by day, so now it's talking at night. Okay, we're going to have to check it. I don't... He got it now in Nevuah or not? He didn't get now in Nevuah. He gets now in Nevuah. Yeah, because on Rashi. Rashi kind of says that he didn't get only by Yoim. The question, no. Yeah. There's no question. We don't understand. We have to understand in Ochaname what's talking about. Okay. Says the Gemara. We learn a pasuk about David HaMelech. It says over there, the Gemara speaks about the Chasidus of David HaMelech, that he was different than all the kings. As we said, he would wake up earlier than all the kings. And now it says the Gemara, well, based on a pasuk. It says in a pasuk, Le David Shomro Nafshi Ki Chosidoni. David HaMelech says about himself, Shomro Nafshi Ki Chosidoni. There's a Machloikas, Levi, and Rabbi Yitzchok. Chad Omar, what is the Midas Chasidus, what David HaMelech comes now and he's praising himself about it? Chad Omar, Kach Omar David V'nei HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Ribono Shel Olam, Lo Chosidani. Lo Chosidani, that means I'm not a Chosid. Lo Chosidani. Why? Because Shekol Malchei Mizrach U'Ma'ariv Yeshenim till when Al Shalosh Shois. Ve'ani Chatzois Lailo Okum Lo Yidois Lecho. So that's what he means when he comes and says that he's a Chosid. Veidoch, that means the other Mandoma came and said, or Levi and or Rabbi Yitzchok. We don't know who says what. He says, Kach Omar David V'nei HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Ribono Shel Olam. Lo Chosidani. Why? Shekol Malchei Mizrach U'Ma'ariv Yoshvim Agudois. And they Nochoname, they B'chvoidom, that's what they are busy only in their own covet. That's what they're busy in. V'ani Yodai Meluchlocho is bedam. My hands are dirty with what? With the dam, ubeshvir, ubeshelye. Nochoname shvir, nochoname with the vlad that grows what you call amniotic sac, I think what it's called. No, that's the shelye. The shvir in nochoname is all the liquid, and the shelye is the placenta or the amniotic sac. Depends sometimes. Anyway, kedei letayer isha lebayla. That's what I'm busy with. In nochoname, not like the goyim, and just what? V'lo yoid. Elo kol ma shani yoise aninim lo Mephibosheth. Who's this Mephibosheth? Mephibosheth's passage was the son of Yoina's son. There was two Mephibosheth. There was a Mephibosheth, the son of Shaul HaMelech, and there was Mephibosheth, the son of Yoina's son. That means the grandson of David HaMelech. Shaul HaMelech, sorry. Shaul HaMelech had a son, Yoina's son, right? David and Yoina's son, they're good friends. And then we have the son of Yoina's son, had a son, Mephibosheth. And Pasha, we talk about this son, Mephibosheth. And there was another son of Shaul who was called Mephibosheth. So he asked him, Mephibosheth, Rebbe, Voimer lo Mephibosheth, Rebbe, Yofe Danti, Yofe Chiyavti, Yofe Zekisi, Yofe Tiarti. That means any question what he had about Yodin, about Yoire, about Tahare, everything he would ask him, Yofe Timesi. He didn't have a busha to come and to ask, even though that Mephibosheth would come, and why would call Mephibosheth, we're going to see. Omar Rabbi Shua Berei de Rav Idi Maikro. Where do we see it from the pasuk? It says ve'adabo beidisecho neged melochim ve'lo eivoish. That means instead of the melochim that were busy with other shtusim, I would come and talk in Torah ve'lo eivoish. I wouldn't be ashamed from Mephibosheth. Tanen lo Mephibosheth shmoi. His real name was Elo Ishbosheth. Ishbosheth was one of the kids of Shaul that he took the melucha after that. But the Mefarshim when he say that this is not the same one. Ve'lo moniko shmoi Mephibosheth. Why it was called Mephibosheth? Shoyo mevayesh, he would come and ashamed b'nei David ba'aloche. He would come and ashamed in the aloche. Lefikach, and that's why Zocho David v'yotzi menu Chilov. That means Chilov was the second son of David. David HaMelech had, as we know, 18 other wives, and not all of them we know, but 18, 6 we definitely know, right? The first son was Amnon, right? Amnon. And then we had the second wife was called Avigail, and she had a son Chilov. The third son was Avshalom. And then was Adonio. It says before in the Pasuk, V'oisa Yoldo Acharei, right, Avshalom. So the first son was Amnon. Amnon was not a king. Chilov didn't want to be a king. He was a big tzaddik, Chilov. And who's this Chilov? Says the Gemara, V'omar Rabbi Yochanan, Lo Chilov Shemoi, Elo Daniel. Because that's what we see in Divrei Hayomim, his name was called Daniel. And why Yochanan was called V'lomo Nikra Shemoi Chilov? She'omachlim Penei Mephibosheth Ba'aloche. Kil Kol Av. That means anything what my father didn't know. He asked him in Yochanan, I ask answering back to Mephibosheth. Kol Av. She'omar B'nei V'olav Omar Shlomo Chachmosoi B'ni. That Shlomo HaMelech says about David HaMelech. B'ni Im Chacham Libcho Yismach Libi Gam Oni V'oimer Chacham B'ni Yismach Libi V'ashivo Choyrfi Dovo. Who's the Choyrfi? Choyrfi, the one that will mevayesh me. He's going to come, my son is going to come and answer all of the terutzim. Says Rashi, Yodai Meluchlochos Bedam. She'anoshim marois lo yidam lideim tomeim toyer. Sheyesh marois dam toyer beisho. Right? Yemei toyer or stam. We learned now nide. Over there we have chameshes domim tomeim, but the rest are toyerim. B'shvil he oyer avlad she'atzomis ve'agidim v'abosor noitzu v'toyer. They get informed inside this sack. V'yesh shvil she'isha yesheves olav yemei tumah v'yei taire. V'yei ze hamerukom. Something that's already formed into vlad, into fetus. Masechet Slida mefarish lo v'yesh shvil molei mayim v'dam she'eino yichoshu vlad. It's just, we call it genunim, we call it, or gvonim, or genunim, as the Gemara calls it over there. Tumas yoled v'yemei taire. That says a ruach be'alme. We're not calling it as a leder. ובשליה נתנן אין שליה בלוי ולד, וכמין לבוש הוולד שויכה בתויכה, וקוירין שטודיו. This is the שליה. ותניה אין שליה פחוסו מטפח, ותחילוסו, it starts to get developed from a חוט של ערב, that's a thicker from a חוט של שסי, and וסויפו כתורמוס, תורמוס is a type of a turnip, not turnip, sorry, turnus is a type of kidneys, look like chickpeas. Similar. Vayum evin oisa. לפונוב לירויס אם יש בו קשיר ואם יעשו יקדש של יש דחזקנו שהיום ולד בתריך אבל נמוי אבל תשע ולא ימי תומה ותאר עם לב. That means if it's less than this turmus, if it's less than this turmus of this it's a type of a kidney, yes, so in Ochoname it's going to be toir. So we have to know if the woman is toir or tome, and that's what we're going to bring it in front of him. Says the Gemara, v'David mi korel nafshei chosid. How can David say about himself that he's a chosid? V'oksiv lulei emanti lirois betuv Hashem be'eretz chaim. And what's the pshat? V'tanem yishmei de Rabbi Yosi. Lomo nokud al lulei. It says on the Lamed Aleph is there is over there in Nekudes. Omar David libnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu Ribono shel olam. Muvtach ani bechor she'atum mishalem schar tov letzadikim lo'asit lo. You pay the tzadikim. Aval eini yoidei im yesh li chelek beinem. I'm not sure that I have a chelek in them. So how can he say he's a chosid? He knows for sure he's a tzaddik, or he doesn't know he's a tzaddik? Imla. Shemo, why? Because Shemo igrui machet. The Rabbi Yaakov Baridi Rom Iksiv. Ve'ine Yaakov Avinu. We all know Rashi al Torah brings it down. Ve'ine anoichi imcho u'shmarticho bechol asher teilach. Right? HaKadosh Baruch Hu promises to Yaakov Avinu, I'm going to protect you. V'ksiv vayero Yaakov moed. Why is vayero? HaKadosh Baruch Hu give you a promise. Where's your bitachon? Omar Shemo igrui machet. Where do we see that Shemo igrui machet and was goyre machet in the past? Kedetanya. It says Ad Yavor Amcha Hashem, Ad Yavor Am Zukoniso. We say in Oz Yoshua. What's the Ad Yavor twice? Ad Yavor Amcha Hashem Zubi Rishona. When they came into Israel the first time was Nissim Veniflois. They crossed the Yarden. What happened? Neid Echod, right? The water stood over there miles, and then they walked into Israel. 31 Melochim. All of them come and in front of Yeshua. They just falling one after the other. They going around Yericho 7 times. The walls of Yericho, big, strong, fat walls, sink in. Tremendous nisim what happened the first time when they came to Eretz Yisrael. The second time when they came to Eretz Yisrael with Ezra should have been the same thing. It should have been the same thing. What happened over there? No, it didn't happen the same thing. They found that they struggled actually. They struggled, as we see Nehemiah Tirshasa when he goes to the king Artaxerxes and he tells Artaxerxes, right? Artaxerxes asking him why you're not happy today. So he tells him, because my brothers in Eretz Yisrael, they are struggling. It was not that thing, right? They didn't have enough money and they couldn't build a Beis HaMikdash. Says the Gemara, why? What was the chet exactly? So the chet of it is a big machlokes in the Rishonim. What was the chet? Let's see Rashi, and then we're going to see Nochanami the other Svaros. What was the chet? So Rashi. So Chisi v'chiyavti shayach b'dinei Mamonez v'dinei nefoshes. V'tamezi v'tiyati b'ilchos tumah v'tzare. V'fi b'divrei halocha yotzim mipiv oyo boishes leDavid. What came out from the mouth of this v'fi boishes was a busha for David HaMelech. Shepoish oyo toyev v'omar lo toyiso. Right? You're coming and telling that he had a mistake. Lefiko b'schush oyo David maktin atzmoi. Zocha v'yotzim meno kil of וזויך את הסנת כנדה. דניאל שמואל במקום אחד משנהו קילוב לאביגיל אישס נובל. That means who was the mother of Kilov? Avigail, Eishes Novel HaKarmeli. You can see in the Gemara in Megillah, Yudaled, the whole story with Novel HaKarmeli, and then he married, after he died, David HaMelech marries Avigail. So who was it? It was Kilov that was the son of Avigail, or Daniel? And my real name is Daniel, because Shoyo Machlim Pnei Befiboish is called Av Machlim. That means Kilov is called Av Machlim Es Arav Shoyo Av Beirosoi. He was an Av, he was like an adult, like an Av, we say Avrich, Av Bechormo, Rach Beshonim. Right? So the same thing over here, we say Kol Av. He was an Av Bechormo, and he knew to answer everything what his father had pushed from מפיבוישס. לו למדתי לראות בטוב השם, כבר תרדו לי מירוסו, כמו שנאמר, כי גירשוני היום, להסתבח בנחלת השם, לאמור, להיך אבויד, that's what he tells them, להיך אבויד אלוהים אחרים. That's the המשך of the pasuk over there, what he comes and he tells them, the same thing, he had a busha. נקודה, לולי לידרוש, זה נקודה שהיא ממעטת מה שעושה כוסף, לא אמר שלא ידור ברו אלוהי לירויס בטוב השם, לולי לא שנעים, לא יקמו, לולי אלוהי אובי, בעזרי, אוי עלי. שמו יגרם אחר, תירוצו, לא ילא מורסק מידי שהוא חוסיד. וזה שסוביק מיודים יראה בטוב השם, לפי שהיו יורוי, שמו יגרם החט, ויגרם החט, מלירויס בטוב. Where do we find the idea of יגרם החט? וירא יעקב, שמו אחר, אבטוח חוטו סיוק נתניה, שהחל גרם, שאין אבטוח מסקיימס. ביו ראשונו, שבו עם הישוע. ביו שניו, כשאולו מגולוס בובל בימי עזרו. So really, ראוי מוי לעשות נס לכו לבוי ביד רומו, the same when he came the first time. אלא שגורם החט, ולא הולכו, what's the חט? So Rashi said the chet was, ולא הולכו, אלו ברשוס קוירש. Koresh was the king of the Persian king, and they asked him Reshus, v'choyim malchim bod nishtabdu lem leKoresh v'lachashverosh u'ledaryovesh ha'achroin. So they came and asked them permission. They shouldn't have. They should have gone anyway. Some say the chet was that. Some Rishonim say that what was the chet? That not all of them came up to Eretz Yisrael in time of Ezra. Not all of them came up. Only a few thousand came up. Not all of them came up, and that was the chet. That he should have all of them. We're going up there to Israel, finish the exile, all of them should leave Bavel and come. But not all of them left Bavel, and that's why that was the part of the chet that they had in the second beer. Says the Gemara, Chachomim Oimrim, Ad Chatzoi, that's what you learned in the Mishnah. So the Gemara is done. Chachomim will say that the Kriya Shema is still Chatzois. What they say? Keman Svirlo. What means, we mentioned already before, and the Machloikes is Beshoch Becho, right? Where do we know you relate Krishma? From the word Beshoch Becho. What is the meaning of Beshoch Becho? Beshoch Becho means the time where people are asleep, or the people put them to go to sleep. So Rabbi Lezer learns there's a time where people go to sleep, and people go to sleep from the beginning of the night till third of the night, right? Shalosh shoys or Arba shoys at Shalish. Chachomim say no. The time when you Rabbi Gamliel says the time that you're asleep, and that's why it's the time that you're asleep is from sunset till sunrise or till Alois HaShachar, and that means the whole night. Says the Gemara Chachomim that they say to Chatzois, who they hold like? The people go to sleep till Chatzois, or the people when they wake up in Chatzois? That means Zman Shchiva, we say like who? Like Rab Lezer, that when people are going to sleep, or Chachomim say to Chatzois is the time Shchiva is when people are asleep. Chachomim keman svire lehu. Ike Rab Lezer. If they say like Rab Lezer, Leimru ke Rab Lezer, they should say like Rab Lezer. That what? That the time is till Soif Aswar Yishola, because then people go to sleep, and the Gemara understood that people don't go to sleep till Chatzois. It's too late to go to sleep Chatzois. Ve'i ke Rabban Gamliel, and if you know you're going to say that what we're going according to Rabban Gamliel, say lo Leimru ke Rabban Gamliel, you should say that the time is till like Rabban Gamliel till when? Till Yale Amud HaShachar, right? So why we say it's till Chatzois? Says the Gemara, really he says like Rabban Gamliel. That's what the time is till when? As long as people are asleep. The Be'etzem should be till the whole night, right? The whole night should be. The whole night. Ay, bazoi, they should say like Gamaliel. Just what Loilo Gamaliel Sialu. Ve'ode ko amre. Ay, why Chachomim came and said at Chatzois? That's because leharchik is odom in. A person shouldn't come and say, "Oh, I still have a bit of time till it's gonna be nochaname the time of Krishma. I have a whole night in front of me. And then what's gonna happen? He's gonna push it up, and then he's gonna miss the time of Krishma. And we see it in nochaname kedetani. We find it in the Braise. What do we find in the Braise? Chachomim osu siag ledivreim, and they said that the zman of Krishma is up till Chatzois. And what's the siag? So what is the siag? What is the siag exactly? So over here the Gemara is mashma that the siag is that you have to read Krishma till Chatzois. That in Ochoname explains the Ritvo, the Ra'o. A lot of Rishonim, that's what the way explain the Gemara. That the siag is that you have to read before Chatzois. Some say that the siag is in Ochoname that when Krishma came, you could not eat and you could not sleep and you could not do all these things. That this is the siag, as we can see in the Gemara. Kedetanya, we learned in a Braise. A person comes home. כדי שלא יהיה אודום בו מן הסודה. כדתניא, חכמים עשו שאג לדבריהם. כדי שלא יהיה אודום בו מן הסודה. A person comes home from work. בערב, in the evening. ואומר. אלך לבייסי. I go just 1 minute I can go home. So I go to Beswada Shadaven. ואויכל קימו. I'm gonna eat a drop. ואשתה קימו. I'm gonna eat a bit. Just a drop, not much. Just oichal kimo. And over here, Toisves over here, very interesting. He learns over here, halacha, that Meshegia Zman Krishma ein lo ilechol Sauda. That's what Toisves says over here. Toisves is in Dibra Masa Bekoire. Over here in the beginning. Meshegia Zman Krishma shelailo ein lo ilechol Sauda at sheiko Krishma mispal al Arvis. That's what Toisves says. You cannot come and eat a Suda.
It's not Eichel Kimmel, is it?
What?
Eichel Kimmel means I just have a bite.
So Toshis learned that you cannot have a Suda, and that's why the Mogan Avram, as we mentioned, that Te'ima you can have. That's why he means Medayak. Because Toshis learns that what means Oichel Kimo not to have a Suda. So he says that Te'ima, just a taste you can have before Ma'ariv. Before Ma'ariv you can have a taste. Sorry? Yeah. Oh, that's a fact that we Kiveger fragt. This Isur to come and to eat a Suda beforehand is toch a Mefurish Mishnah. So he has to come to tell us a diuk from over here. It's toch a Mefurish Mishnah. That's what the Rabbi Kiveger fragt. Yeah. Okay, let's see weiter the Gemara. Says the Gemara. So he says ve'eshte kimo, that you're not allowed to come to drink over here more than a kabetza. In Sukkah we see that drinking, you're allowed to drink chutz Sukkah because the whole drinking is called the aray. You could drink. Drinking water is not a problem. Yeah. Drinking water is not a problem. Also, no, you talk about the Ma'ariv. You could drink. Because drinking be'etzem is a aray. It's the same like we find in Sukkah, right? In Sukkah we find you could drink chutz Sukkah. Not like a tchile. Yeah, not like a tchile, but...
Wine you can't, right?
Huh?
Wine you should.
Yeah, wine is a kvias. You see, anything that's aray you could do, so also over here you might come and drink. Ve'ishan kimo, Choname is going to come and sleep a bit. Choname cannot come and sleep. Even this is in Choname, even a shenas aray. And ve'achakach eko kriyashma ve'espalel. What happens in the end? We all know from everyone I'm sure knows from himself. V'chotfasoi sheino ve'nimtza yoshen kol halaylo. And Choname fapas the zman of Krishma. Avol. That's why Chachon came and was metaken and taken. Odom bomin asod be'erev nichnas levis hakneses. Before he goes home, bichlal, don't go home. Nichnas levis hakneses. Ve'im rogil likois inochaname, if he knows to learn a bit, koire inochaname, he should learn till comes the zman of Krishma. Why? Because inochaname, he should even it didn't come the zman of Krishma, so that's why he's going home. He's not going home because it came the zman of Krishma. So he should go first. He should go learn a bit. Ve'im rogil lishnois, that means learn mishnayes. Shoyne. Okay, when it comes the time, and then he goes, he goes home, finishes the Braise, and he reads Krishma after Chatzois. Pashtes, this is the Kol Oiver Al Dir HaChomim. But that's what the Ritva says. Kol Oiver Al Dir HaChomim, what is Oiver Al Dir HaChomim? And he reads Krishma after Chatzois, Chayim Mise. Some say that in Ochoname, what is Oiver Al Dir HaChomim? And he goes home first, and that was the Oiver Al Dir HaChomim. again, it depends how we learned before and what's the siag, yeah? Depends what's the siag, depends over here what means Doiver Divrei Chachamim. Chayev Mise. So Inochanami is going to be Chayev Mise. Why? Because Poiretz Geder Yishchenu Nochosh, and that means Chayev Mise. That's what Rashi brings, the Rashi and Soita. That's what Rashi and Soita brings, because Poiretz Geder Yishchenu Nochosh. Says the Gemara. Maishno bechol duchte. Everywhere we have a Gzeras Chachamim, the lo yiktane Chayev Mise. Doesn't say over the Chayev Mise. Umaishno oche the ktane Chayev Mise. Why over here it says Chayev Mise? Why over here we said Chayev Mise more than anywhere else where we find over there a Gzeira de Rabbanon? That's basically our question. Says the Gemara. Ibo say mishum because legabe krishme we have more of a chashash oines than everywhere else. Ike oines sheine because a person comes home from work. He's very tired. Nechonami is very tired, so he's just gonna go over just 1 minute to come and lie down on the couch or something, and that's why we have to come and to give an extra warning more than anywhere else. The Braise comes and tells us le'afuka man do'omar. We can see Nechonami man do'omar. That's later on in Daf Chov Zayin. Tfilas Arvis is reshus komash malon. That the Braise will come and teaches us that even over al dir chachamim, even that's reshus, the he choivo, Inochaname it's a choivo, and Inochaname that is what Chachamim was metak it's choivo. Inochaname the huh?
The marriage is Rishus, not the Krishna.
But that's what matters.
We're talking about Maya. What's the Mispalen? Talking about also Mispalen.
Krishna, the Gzeh was the Siag was on the Krishna.
The Krishma Veispalen, right? That's what we saw before. What's the Gemara of there?
Kari Krishma, Mispalo.
Yeah. So Inochaname. If he this teretz is the whole thing is talking about tefillah. Yeah. The Foshim saying before is the Inochaname the whole takon over here was on Krishma. Omar Mar says the Gemara. Omar Mar. We learned before in the Braise that we learned over there Koire Kriya Shema and then Mispalen, right? Mispalen. Also that's part of the Gsiyag, Mispalen. So the Gemara comes and brings a raya to this Braise. Mesaya leile Rabbi Yochanan. Domar Rabbi Yochanan Ezu ben Oilom Abo. Inochaname, as we know, Soymach Geula Tefillah is a big zachar. Why? Because the Rabbi Yehuda says because when we went out of Mitzrayim, Inochaname, why? What's the purpose of going out of Mitzrayim? We turned them from Avdei Paroi to Avdei Hashem. And how we prove that Inochaname we Avdei Hashem? When a person comes and he bows down in front of the Rebbeinu Shloim and he's davening Shmoneh Esrei, right? Ke'eved. How are you supposed to daven Shmoneh Esrei? Ke'eved lifnei Rabbi. So when you just came and said Geula, you went out of Mitzrayim, straight away you put yourself into a situation, into a matzav of Avdos, and that's Geula Litfilah. That's why it's a great sechar of Geula Litfilah. Says Gemara, Ezo ben Oilom Habo, Ze Asoymech Geula Litfilah. Inochaname. And that's why I think even the person that comes before Shmoneh Esrei, and he wants to daven Shmoneh Esrei b'tzibur, so he davens straight away Shmoneh Esrei. I saw once B'Shem of Shlomo Zalman Neuerbach. He says la'alocha, you should come and say a pasuk of Epis from Yetzias Mitzrayim. You should come and say a pasuk of Yetzias Mitzrayim, because the Inyan of Le'asvich Geula L'Tfilah. You heard that?
But why is it only at night then? So why isn't it at night?
Oh, so it's day. Also in the morning. It's in the morning.
But it isn't at Milcha.
What?
At Milcha.
Oh. What's the Ashrei? What do we say?
Is that Gula?
Oh, so it's not exactly Geula, but yeah, a Mincha is different. We can see later on in the why Mincha is different. Says the Gemara. Okay. Says the Gemara. So Ezo beino lo mabo ze asoymer Geula letfila shel Arvis. So here we talk about the Inochaname shel Arvis, davke shel Arvis. Why davke shel Arvis? Why davke shel Arvis? So the first you say Kol Shkein b'Shachris. Kol Shkein b'Shachris. Why? Because when it happened Yetzias Mitzrayim, Be'etzem hayoyim hazeh in the Shachris. So for sure in Shachris, but even in Arvis is also going to come and be part of this. Why? Because when Be'etzem they went out of Mitzrayim was in Shachris, but Be'etzem when Paroi told them to get out, and in the night, and that's why Inochaname is also at night. Rabbi Levi Omer Tfilois be'emtza tiknum. What means Tfilois be'emtza tiknum? He says over there like this: between Krishme of the morning and Krishme of Inochaname of Arvis. That means that Inochaname Meir we have to come and to say the davening before the Krishme. So Rabbi Shimon Levi, we have to say the davening before the Krishme. Krishme in the morning, then davening. Then Inochaname, okay, we have a davening of Mincha. Then the davening of Ma'ariv, and then Inochaname the Krishma. That's what Rabbi Shimon Levi says. Be'emtza tiknum. B'may korim feket. Ibo yisei mekro, Ibo yisei mesvor. That one is in the pasuk or in the svor. Ibo yisei mesvor. What is the svor? The Rabbi Yochanan Sovar Geule. When was the Geule? Mi'utena me'ave. When it started already at night. Elo Geule me'al yisei lo yave elo atzafre. The Geule, the proper Geule when they left Mitzrayim was in Ochaname in the morning. When Mishul and Levi Sovar came and the lo yave elo mitzafre. Lemaise, when was the Geule? In the morning. Lo yave Geule me'al yisei. The night is not called the Geule me'al yisei. Ve'ibo yisei mekro. U'shnei mikro echod dorsho. It says in the pasuk. Beshoch becho uvekumecho. How we darshan exactly the pasuk beshoch becho uvekumecho? We say like this: when in Nochaname we're talking about beshoch becho uvekumecho, the reason what we say is Rabbi Yochanan Sovar maki shchiv lekime. We do a hekesh makime krishme v'chakach tefillah. That means in the morning, right? First we say krishme, then av shchiv nami krishme v'chakach tefillah. That's Rabbi Yochanan. Ve'Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi Sovar no maki shchiv lekime. Ma kime krishme somuch lemitosoi. Right? He wakes up, krishme, and then he davens. Av shchiv nami krishme somuch lemitosoi. First, Chaname he davens the Ma'ariv, and then he says krishme because the krishme has to be somuch lemitosoi before he goes to bed near the bedtime. Then it's Chaname it has to be the zman shchiv. Says the Gemara. Mosiv mar berei de Ravina. He's asking him a question. What says over there? This is later on, we're going to see, it's boiled down over there. He's asking a question. Mosiv mar berei de Ravina, and this is a question according to Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Yochanan said that you have to come and to be soymech geula letfila, also in Ma'ariv. So he's asking from a Mishnah what we're going to see later on. What says in the Mishnah? Bo'erev, and the evening, Mevorech is talking about the Birkos Krishme. Mevorech shtaim lefoneo, v'shtaim lachareo. Now, if you're telling me that you need geula letfila, also in Ma'ariv you need geula letfila, it says the Gemara, why? Now Ashkivenu is not a brach on the geula, right? Ashkivenu is not a brach on the geula. And every Nochaname we have to come and say two brachas, so we don't have a smichas geula letfila. It's not samu because Ashkivenu is stopping it, so he's not smichas geula. And for the Gemara, Amre. Kevan de takinu rabbonon, because rabbonon they were metaken to say hashkiveinu kegeula arich the damya, and it's a hemshech of the first bracha. Under the first bracha is on the geula, and maybe we have a smichas geula tefillah. Raya la dovot to this. That's what the iloi tei meoche. We can have also a question, the same question in shachis. Heichem motis somich. How we have geula letefillah? Ve'omar Rabbi Yochanan betchila before he starts daven, what he says, Hashem. Sefosai tiftach, right? You say piyagi teilo secho. In Ochaname we come, we say that we don't have the koach to come to daven. Hashem sefosai to help us to open up our mouths. Ulebasoi after he davens shmoneh. So what he says, right? So kumto is that when he beginning when he starts Hashem sefosai tiftach, he's doing the answer between the geula. He says Gal Yisrael, but then he says Hashem sefosai tiftach before he starts the davening. Elo, the awesome, Kevin the Takinu Rabbonon lemeimar Hashem sefosai tiftok, kitfilah richet damye. The same thing over here. Ochename, Kevin the Takinu Rabbonon lemeimar Ashkiveinu, ki geula richet damye. Once we say it's a takol sachomim, this is a long geula. Omar Ablezer, Omar Abavine, Kol Omer Teilo leDavid. Teilo leDavid is what we say Ashrei. In Ochename, Mechoyim Shalosh Pamim, 3 times every day, and the 3 times is connected the 3 tefillas. The 3 times is connected the 3 tefillas. In Ochaname we say twice in Shachis and 1 in Minche. Why we were not attacking it in Ma'ariv? Because Ma'ariv is Rashus. That's what the Kolboy says. The Kolboy says because Ma'ariv is Rashus, and that's why we didn't want to be attacking it in Ma'ariv. Yeah, okay. Muftach loi shou ben oilom abo. Says the Gemara, my time. What's the reason? Ilay mishum the asi the aleph base. The psukim is mesuda lefi the aleph base, and that's why. You name it should say Ashrei Tamimei Dorech. The Asim Tam Neapet, that the psukim of there or the on Mesuder according to the Aleph base, and it repeats itself 8 times. So it's better than Teilo LeDavid that's only once in Aleph base. And Elo, you're gonna say Mishum the East Bay Poisech Zodecho. Poisech Zodecho is a great tefillah. Poisech Zodecho must be Chol Chai Rotzain. Name it Halal Agodol. Should say Halal Agodol. The Chsiv Bay Noisim Lechol Lechol Basel. And Lomshum the East Beitat, there's both. There's also Poisech Zodecho, and there's also over there Aleph base. Okay, we're gonna stop over here.